Thank you, Kritika, and a very warm welcome to all our participants, speakers this afternoon, evening, as well as everybody who's logged in from different parts of the country today for this very interesting session on retail technology. Um, I'm just delighted to be speaking here today because there's just so much change that's happening in this sector. And I think this is one sector that is totally transforming with this crisis. And clearly, as we look ahead, there will be a slightly different world in what we are used to as we look ahead. I put together a very brief slide deck. So, I'll walk you through a few slides, but I really look forward to hearing the speakers and the panel after me to get their perspectives on what lies ahead. So as Kritika defined, I think the theme of our retail tech day over the 2 days is how do you transform through innovation? And, as we look ahead, can we get the next slide, please? And as we look ahead, I think this is a quote that's been oft quoted, but it's something that has never been more real, that there are decades where nothing happens and there are weeks where decades happen. So in NASSCOM, when we were thinking about the start of 2020, we said this should be about a decade, a technology-driven decade, where we thought some of the changes that are lying in front of us would happen over the next 10 years. But clearly, COVID-19 has accelerated these shifts and made digitalization, hyper-digitalization, omni-channel, contactless management, everything that Kritika spoke about much more real. And I think in the next slide, I'd really like to share with you what are some of these big changes that we are seeing ahead. So I think what we are seeing is that, there were a lot of mega trends that have been talked about, which was about what is a data-led economy, what is the future of work, focus on environment, how do you think about economic eminence? But I think whilst many of these remain equally important, there are many new mega trends that have come ahead, which are both positive, some of which are creating opportunities. There are a few that are creating challenges. I think particularly the whole emphasis on rise of geopolitics. What does it mean in the whole US, China, India, EU, Brexit? I think there is so much change happening geopolitically. Every country is saying, I need to focus more on being self-reliant. I need to think much more in terms of bilateral relationships and multilateral formats that existed earlier. So it is a world which has changed in ways that we had known pre-COVID times. I think the government is becoming an important driver of technology spend. So, Gartner recently did a survey, and one of the things that decreased the most in technology spending was government spending. Healthcare is a no-brainer. Hopefully, all the changes that are taking place about investment in healthcare will be accelerated even more despite the vaccine coming or whatever time frame it happens. Rise of as a service economy, I think that is becoming very, very important, as is the whole focus on, the whole new tech competition, big tech competition, new players coming in. That's again something that is redefining the landscape for technology. And I think the last one, which we live in, every day, is the whole stay-at-home economy. As we've learned to live in this work-from-home model, there are a number of technology solutions that are at play. And many of these will really define what the new future of work would be like. Can we move to the next slide that shows you how Gartner is defining some of the new technology, what are some of the technology spending trends that are looking at? So this slide is slightly difficult to read, but at a high level, it says that in December of 2019, the quarter four of 2019, tech spending was increasing by 4.6%. And as of June 2020, it is declined by minus 6.3%. So obviously a 10% or 10.5%, 10.9% plus decline over the 6 months as we've seen it. Every sector is declining, and I think with the emphasis on this current, retail emphasis, there is a 15% decline in technology spending that Gartner has seen over this time frame. However, everything is not negative. If you move to the next slide, you would see that while there is a cut in spending that is taking place, most of the cut in spending is limited or is more focused on cut on devices, on discretionary spending, which people had planned ahead of time. However, the more progressive companies, the companies that are seeing this crisis as an opportunity, are continuing to invest in new technology areas. Many of the technology areas listed in the blue box, I'm not sure how readable it is, are technologies that existed earlier, whether it's cloud or cybersecurity or AI or analytics, IoT. What COVID-19 has done is accelerated the adoption of these technologies. If you see all analyst reports, they're talking about how cloud has become much more mainstream than it ever was. SaaS products, whether they're global products or products from India, they're seeing a huge adoption. And I think that is what is the whole drive towards as a service economy, new business models that we are seeing and would have some play in the retail world also. Can we move to the next slide? I think if you look at retail, and I think this was more in the context of what's happening in India retail. India retail was largely about, here is the offline traditional India retail or the big malls, and here is the whole online new commerce, e-commerce industry. And the two would, some of them would talk to each other, but most of them were really not, you would not see them as a combined whole. If you go and see the results of some of the retail companies that are listed, whether it's a DMart India, whether it's a Havells India, whether it's a Bata India, everyone is talking about how they want to invest more and more to increase their online share. On the e-commerce side, we've, and Hari's here with us today, we have Flipkart that is buying out Walmart's wholesale business in India. So clearly, the integration of the omni-channel world is equally and more evident in India, where traditionally the e-commerce industry was these big boys who were wanting to eat up the small retailers. And clearly, I think the investment we've seen in geo platforms is one way that is looking at how integrating the entire retail ecosystem, from the small kirana stores to the big malls or the shopper stops, the supply chains, and all of that going forward. Can we move to the next slide, please? This is really, while I talked of a number of technologies, NASSCOM recently released a report about what is an AI playbook for retail, and I've just taken a couple of slides from that report. This was a survey that was done with retail CXOs on what do you see about AI adoption in your enterprise, what are the positives, what are the negatives. Clearly, I think 50% of those enterprises believe customer experience, operational efficiency, and revenue growth are priority areas when they adopt AI. However, I think a significant number of them still feel that value articulation, low ecosystem maturity, issues of data security, algorithm auditability, still not satisfied with implementations. Yes, we've done well, but the promise of AI is still not so real. So I think there are the so-called red flags that you continue to see where AI adoption is happening. But I think what we are now increasingly seeing is that people are willing to move beyond POCs. For a time frame, it was all about, let me implement a POC, let me see what happens around it. Today, you're seeing more and more enterprises and saying, if I need to accelerate my hyper-digitalization journey, AI and data analytics adoption will be a very significant part of that journey. And of course, reskilling talent, that is something that every company is very, very focused on, because clearly the jobs that will exist in the post-COVID world could be very different from what they existed in the pre-COVID world. Can we move to the next slide? There's just a quick slide of, what is the retail value chain as defined in that AI playbook, and we'll be happy to share that with the participants of this event. But clearly across the entire value chain, whether it's procurement, whether it's supply chain, whether it's online or offline or in-store experiences, whether it's about customer access, AI has a role to play, and there are very interesting live use cases this playbook has tracked across each of the segments of this value chain. Can we move to the last slide, please? So this is really my last slide, which is talking about, so if you are in the tech industry or you're a startup that is looking to partner with retail tech enterprises, what are some of the imperatives for you? I think the first is to stay close to your clients. There's so much change happening around us. You need to be very close to your clients to understand what are their priorities, what are they looking for, as opposed to a traditional RFP model. I think that world has changed. So you have to stay close to your client. You need to know what they are doing, be a partner in making them happen. You need to survive the short term. So focus on your revenues. Don't do free POCs unless you see a very, very big business potential. Build out your BCP strategy, because global and Indian large enterprises will be very focused on saying, I want to partner with somebody who can survive this current environment. If you can afford it, focus on acquisitions. They will give you the niche edge that you will need to build out capabilities that an organic play may take longer. Invest in platforms, products, new tech, because technology shifts are moving very, very fast. And the sooner you build those competencies, the better it would be. Put your skin in the game, co-invest, look at new business models. It's not only about pay-per-use model or anything, but can I co-invest and create new solutions with you? And of course, get ready for the normal. There is a very new normal out there that's already real, and that will stay along with us. So that's really a very brief presentation to set the context for the retail day that I wanted to share with all of you. We are living in times of unprecedented changes. Nobody knows what is today or what will tomorrow be. But I think in all of this unprecedented changes or this uncertainty, volatility around us, it's equally important to say, how do you stay sane? How do you identify what are some medium to long-term plays while surviving the current? So Kritika, back to you. Happy to be here today. And I look forward to hearing Rachel's session and hearing her perspectives. And thank you, Rachel, for getting up so early in the morning to join us here today.